Hey everyone, this is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row. Thanks so much for listening to the following broadcast, courtesy of Public House Media.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And the show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
You're going backwards instead of forwards? Do you ever feel like no matter what you do, you just can't get ahead in life? Well, good morning. Welcome to Public House Media. Welcome to Choose to Rise. My name is Kim Meyer, and I am so glad that you're with me today, because today I'm going to be talking about 10 things you have to give up in order to move forward. These 10 things are things that are probably holding you back in life that you may or may not even realize, but 10 things that you can give up, that you can forget about, that you can use in your favor for you to move forward in what's going on. So many of us, myself included, hold on to the things that are just dragging us down. We have all of these invisible chains pulling on us and keeping us stuck, keeping us where we're at and not letting us move forward to where we want to be. So these 10 things today I want you to be able to let go of. These 10 things I want you to be able to just release and know that it's a good thing that you're letting go of them, so that we can move forward, that you can go forward and reach the things that God's created you to be by letting go of the things of the past. So let's get rolling, right? Let's get started with these 10 things, because I want you to be able to rise up out of your current situation and live your best life. When the things that, I think of, like, what is it that holds that balloon down? That, like, if you picture a big like hot air balloon, what is it that holds it to the ground? It's the weight, right? You have to be able to let go of the weights, and then gravity, it doesn't have control over anymore because it's pulling itself up. That's what I want you to be today. I want you to let go of the things that are holding you back. I want you to be that hot air balloon and float to your purpose, okay? So let's get started. Number 1, letting the opinions of others control your life. 100%, a whole bunch of chains, a whole bunch of heavy sandbags holding you down are the opinions of other people. It's not about what other people think, it's what you think about yourself that counts. You have to do exactly what's best for you and your life, and not what's best for everyone else. Now, there are a few people in your world that you kind of need to pay attention to. You need to pay attention to the spouse, you need to pay attention to your kids, those kinds of things. Good morning, ladies. Thanks for joining me. But letting other people's opinions, even the opinions of those very close to you, sometimes really letting those things drive you, who you are and what you're doing in life, is a disservice to you and to the purpose that God created you for. God created you as a unique individual, and you alone need to be the one that has the opinion of what to do in your life. So letting the opinions of other people control your life is the first thing that we need to get rid of. Focus in on what you want to do, what God has provided for you and your unique purpose, and go in that direction, and not always seeking permission from other people. I have this quote in front of me that's just been kind of sitting here for a while on these cards, and it says, "Ask for what you want instead of always waiting for permission." Right? So good. Ask for what God's created you for and not always seeking permission to go do it. The second thing that's holding a lot of people back is the shame of past failures. Your past does not equal your future. Your past is behind you. It's not in front of you. And all that matters right now is what you're doing right now and where you are going, not what's happened before you. Now, your past has definitely shaped you. Your past has definitely prepared you for where you're going to go. If you struggled with debt or, not having much as a child or, like those kinds of things, it's going to shape your mind and how you think about money going forward. But the past failures, the things that have happened behind you, do not have to dictate how your future goes. You can rise above all of those things and do better. The third thing that's holding a lot of people back is being indecisive about what you really want. This whole week in a series that I'm listening to called Quote of the Day, It's another amazing podcast. You should totally go listen to them. They're talking about vision, and they're talking about really being crystal clear about what it is that you want out of life, and being indecisive about what you want will never let you get to where you really want to be, because you'll never leave where you are until you decide where you would rather be. Making a decision to figure out what you want in life and then pursuing that passionately is how you get to that point. And so being able to decide and be crystal clear about what it is that you want in your future, that's when the universe, that's when God, that's when everybody around you can really, your mind can really start focusing in and getting you to that point. When you're unsure of where you want to go, your brain doesn't know how to take you there. And so when you can get crystal clear on it, that's what happens. That's what shows up in your life. What you focus on, you create more of. Good and bad. So focus on the good things that you want to have happen in your life, and those will be the things that start to show up for you. Number 4, procrastinating on the goals that matter to you most. There are 2 primary choices in your life: to accept the conditions as they exist, or to accept the responsibility for changing them. 2 decisions that you make. Accept that this is the way things are, or accept the responsibility for changing them. And the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, but the best time to do it is now. So are you ready to move forward? Are you ready to make a difference in your life? You can accept this is how it is and just be here I am, or you can accept responsibility, plant that tree today, and do something different with your heart, your mind. Do something different. Go in the direction that God created you for, because that's where magic things happen. That's where beautiful things come true, is when you really can step into your purpose and really step into the things that you were created for. And it's amazing. Trust me, go there. Number 5, choosing to do nothing. This one gets a lot of people. Instead of they're indecisive, they don't know what to do, so they do nothing. And really, that's a choice too. You don't get to choose how you are going to die. You don't get to choose when you're going to die, but you do get to decide how you live right now, how you focus in on what you're going to do today to make this world a better place, how you're going to focus in today, how to improve your life, how you're going to focus today on how you're going to make somebody else happy, how you're going to make yourself happy. Every day is a new chance to choose. So it doesn't have to be a Monday. Today can be a Wednesday where you get to choose and decide something different for yourself. Choosing to do nothing is definitely a choice. It's choosing to be stagnant. It's choosing to just live. But if you can really choose joy, choose positivity, choose to do something different with your life, that's where you get to do more and be more and experience more positivity and beautiful things in your life. The 6th thing that you need to get rid of if you want to keep moving forward in your life is the need to be right. Now, this one is a little hard for me. I have always wanted to be the right one. But aiming for success and never giving up your right to be wrong is big, okay? Because when you do, you can admit your wrongs. When you can admit that you're not always right, you're also losing the ability to learn new things. Or when you admit always you're having to be right, you're losing the ability to learn new things, and you're unable to move forward in life because you always have to be right. Now, if you can open up your mind and say, I have a lot to learn. When you can open up your mind and say, I don't do everything perfectly, teach me. When you can do that, you can open up yourself to so many more possibilities. When you are the be-all, end-all, you can't go other places. But when you can open up your heart and mind to saying, I don't know it, teach me, show me the way, help me get to the next place, that's when you get to be so much more open and so much more free and experience so many more things in this world. So number 7, running from problems that should just be fixed. I would tell you to stop. I would tell you to slow down. I would tell you to face the issue that is chasing you, fix the problem, communicate the issue, appreciate that it's been in your life and it's teaching you something. Forgive the people that you love and move forward in a positive direction. You deserve to have a life where you are loved, where you are pain-free, where you are appreciated, where you can communicate with love. You deserve all of those things, and so do the people around you. So stop trying to run from the problems and start actually facing them and fixing them. I know that we have this book that my children love to read. And of course, I'm not gonna be able to remember the title, but it's one of those repetitive books where it really starts out as this It's called A Fly Came By. If you ever pick it up, it's very repetitive, but your kids will probably like it. So a fly came by this little boy one day, and he was like, oh, why are you going so fast? And he said, there's something chasing me. And so he's like, oh, I'm going to help this fly. I'm going to stop the thing chasing him. And it comes to come along a frog. And the frog says, I'm not chasing a fly. I'm chasing what's after me. And then it becomes a cat. And the cat's like, what frog? I don't want no frog. I don't want this thing chasing me. And so all these things, like it comes out to being like 12 things that are like chasing each other, but not really understanding that they're chasing each other. They're just trying to get away from the thing behind them. And what it really comes down to is this poor little lamb stuck in a can, and he's just making all this clattering noise, which scared all these things from chasing each other. And if we were to stop and really just fix the problem, help that poor little lamb get out of the can, no one would have to be scared. No one would have to be running from things. And a lot of the times, the things that are issues in our life are just misconceptions. They're things that, if we would communicate what's really wrong, we'd be able to fix them a lot faster than always be running in turmoil. So side tangent there, but stop running from the things that you should just be fixing. Number 8, making excuses rather than decisions. Most long-term failures are the outcome of people who make excuses instead of decisions. Now this kind of goes to the couple before then, where no decision is a decision. And making excuses rather than decisions is a lot of the same kind of thing. Most of those long-term failures, the things that have taken you so far off of the path of success, are the things that you've been unwilling to say that you're wrong. The things that you say that you're, that you're unwilling to fix or communicate because you just have to be right, or that you are running from instead of fixing. Making excuses rather than decisions really takes you farther from your goals and ever getting you closer to them. So instead of making those excuses, make decisions to right your wrong, make decisions to apologize, make those decisions to really move in a positive direction and not always away from the negative. Number 9, overlooking the positive points in your life. This is a big one for a lot of people. We always focus on what's wrong and not what's really going well in our day. I just made a post on my Choose to Rise page about really focusing on what you're grateful for. When you can live in a heart of gratitude, then you can live in a heart of peace. Because when we often really depend entirely on what we're looking at. Our whole heart and mind is really always focused on what we're looking at. And if you're always focused on the negative things, you will always have a hard time. If you're always looking at the hard times, you will always be just consumed with the negative. But if you can be focusing on the happy things, the good things in life, the things that you're thankful for, that are happening right here, right now in your heart and mind, those are the things that are going to multiply. When you can live with a happy heart and a positive mindset, those are the things that are going to show up for you every single day. Every day my alarm goes off in the morning, and the alarm is actually titled on my phone. I'd show it to you, but I'm on my phone recording this. It always says, what are you grateful for? Because when I roll over and I'm not excited that my alarm is going off, I see those words, and then I lay there and say, thank you, God, for, and I just go through this long list of things that I'm grateful for every single morning, because it starts my day in a positive mindset. It starts my day in a good, focused sense of directing my day into a day of gratitude instead of a day of negative. If I could be grumpy that my alarm is going off at 4:45 or 5 o'clock in the morning, but instead I can get into a heart of gratitude and be thankful for the opportunity to even get out of bed, or to be able to get up and move, or that I have an alarm sitting next to me, that I have a roof over my head. All of the big things, but even all of the little things, like the smiles of my children. And the fact that, I can make them lunch instead of being negative in the morning that I have to make them lunch, right? There's so many positive things that you can focus on in your day instead of always the negative ones. It's just a flip of the switch in the brain. And the last thing that you really need to get rid of if you really want to have a positive life, if you want to move forward in a good way, is not appreciating the present moment. Too often we try to accomplish something without really realizing the big parts of our life. The greatest part of our life is made up of the little things. It's the little things that always add up to the big things. A huge pile of sand is made up of a million tiny grains. So whatever it is that's big in your life, tailor it down. Focus down to the bottom. What are the little things that add up to that big thing? When something massive happens in your life, what are the little things that created that big thing? When you can appreciate the present moment, when you can appreciate the small things in life, like those smiles in the morning, the morning giggles, the good nights every single day. When you can focus on appreciating the small things that happen in your day, maybe it's even the sunshine coming in your house, or the cool breeze, or this morning, like being able to go out and feed my dog this morning. The cold, the crisp air was just beautiful. And my feet were freezing cold because I didn't put on shoes, but that was a decision I made. So, but it was a beautiful morning out here, and I just was grateful for it because I could focus on the negative or I could focus on the positive. And I have a house to go back into to get my feet warm. So that was what I focused on. So, 10 things this morning that you need to get rid of if you want to move forward. 10 things that you can get rid of the negative and focus on the positive so you can rise up out of your current situation and live your best life. Not appreciating the present moment, overlooking the positive points in your life, making excuses rather than decisions, running from the problems instead of fixing them, getting rid of the need to be right, choosing to do nothing instead of do something, procrastinating on the goals that really matter to you, being indecisive about what you really want, letting the shame of the past failures continue to haunt you, and letting the opinions of others control your life. All of those things, if we can just bless and release and let go of those, you will be able to move forward in a much more positive way, in a much happier light in your life, and live your best world yet. So I hope you got something out of this morning. And if you appreciated any of the things that I shared with you this morning, I hope that you go to the little share button on the bottom corner of the screen and you share it to your social media. I hope that you if you're in the podcast, I hope that you screenshot it and share it someplace. Send it to somebody else that needs this information or that would just benefit from hearing about Choose to Rise and learning more about how to live a happier life. I really appreciate everything and everyone that sends something in. Also, if you'd had to Apple podcast, if you have an iPhone, which 99% of the people do, we've done some statistics and know that so many of our listeners, I think it's like 60 to 70% of our listeners are coming from Apple Podcasts. So if you are on that, head over there and give me a rating and a review. And if you send in to choosetorise@gmail.com, if you send just a little bit or even comment below or send a Public House Media here that we're on Public House a message, I would love to start shouting out some of my listeners. I really appreciate everything and everyone that listens and everything that they do to support the show and to share it with other people. And so I would love to shout out and do kind of a listener of the week or maybe a listener of the episode, is depending on how many people share. But I would love to shout out and share just the amazing people that are a part of that Choose to Rise and how this place is able to grow. So thanks so much for listening this morning. I would really love and appreciate a share or a review or a rating. And let other people know about Choose to Rise. And I hope that you pray for you that come back and that something I said to you spoke to you and it's helped you rise up out of your current struggles and live your best life. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you again next time. Bye.